Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to another Premier League video. This is week 23 of the Premier League predictions. We've got a lot of good games to talk about, including the big London derby between Arsenal and Chelsea. So let's just dive straight into the predictions.
Alright guys, but before we get into the predictions, this video shout goes to Wade for comment down below his score prediction. If you guys want to be featured just like Wade, make sure you guys comment down below your score prediction for this week's games and let us know who you think will win and who you think will score the goals and who will lose. If you haven't already guys, make sure you like the video. Let's try to smash 200 likes, that'd be much appreciated. Subscribe if you haven't already and put post notifications on to be featured in the next video. But yeah guys, let's get right into it. So the first game of week 23 is Wolves versus Leicester. For this game I put a 2-0 win to Wolves. Wolves were quite unfortunate against Man City yesterday, and I think they're going to bounce back from this and get the 3 points against Leicester City. Wolves are a very strong side, so I still think they're going to finish quite far in the Premier League this season. They're doing really well already, and if they carry on the way they are, then they'll finish in the top 10 definitely. So yeah, 2-0 win here. Jimenez getting the first one, Traore getting the second goal. Moving on to the next game, Bournemouth versus West Ham. For this game I put a 1-0 win to West Ham. I think it's going to be one of those games where there's going to be a lot of chances but not many goals. This is the reason I put 1-0 win. West Ham, they've been looking quite good, and I think Antonio's going to get the only goal here and secure the 3 points for West Ham.
Right, for the first game, Wolves versus Leicester. For this game I put a 1-0 win to Wolves. Wolves currently dropped out the top half of the table, currently 11th, so they're going to want to get back in there. And Leicester, on the other hand, coming off that home shock defeat against, I think it was Southampton, they're going to want to bounce back too. But I think Wolves being at home with that advantage, with the crown behind them, I do think they will beat Leicester 1-0 to get the 3 points here. And now the next game, Bournemouth versus West Ham. For this game, I put a 2-1 win to West Ham. I think it's going to be quite an exciting game. Both really good teams in good form. West Ham, well actually Bournemouth aren't in the best of forms, but West Ham on the other hand, coming off that great win against Arsenal, which no one really expected them to get a great result there, but they did, walked away with 3 points, so they're going to really be up for this game, and I do think they will go to Bournemouth and get the 3 points. 2-1 win for them there, with Wilson getting the goals for Bournemouth and Anderson and Antonio getting a goal for West Ham.
Right, so for the first game, Wolves versus Leicester, I put a 1-1 draw in this game. Both teams are on similar amount of points. Leicester only 2 points ahead of Wolves. But I just think it's going to be a really tight game, not a lot into it, and I don't think any team's going to go with the win here. So I'll put 1-1 draw. Ruben Costa get first goal and Wiley gets the goal for Leicester. And for Bournemouth versus West Ham, I'll put 2-1 win to West Ham. Obviously West Ham beat Arsenal, but to be fair, we played like we weren't playing good, so it was a good result, but they deserved the win, to be fair. On to Bournemouth now. Bournemouth will be tough away from home, but I still think they'll have enough quality to win this game 2-1. So Anderson and Andy Carroll to get the goals for West Ham, and Wilson to get the only goal for Bournemouth.
Okay, first game of week 23, Wolves versus Leicester. Both teams come back from an L from last game week, and for this game I put 2-1 win here for Wolves. I feel like they will bounce back and get back into the top 10, with their goal scorers being Ruben Neves and Jimenez, and Leicester goal scorer being James Maddison. And then moving on to the next game, Bournemouth versus West Ham. Bournemouth getting 1 point from 4 games, poor form. On the other hand, West Ham coming back from the win against Arsenal, and for this game I put 2-0 win here for West Ham, with Samir Nasri and Felipe Anderson getting the goals for West Ham. But let's move on to the next 3 games.
Alright, so next 3 games, Liverpool versus Crystal Palace. For this game I put a 3-2 win to Liverpool. I think it's going to be a very tough game for Liverpool. Crystal Palace, let's not underestimate the team. Despite them being 14th in the Premier League right now, I still think Liverpool is going to struggle, and I still think Crystal Palace are going to put a fight in. Playing at home is a definite advantage for Liverpool, but I still think Crystal Palace will even nick 1 or 2 goals here. So for the goal scorers I put Salah to score 2 goals, Mane to score 1, and for Crystal Palace I put Zaha. Moving on to the next game, it's United versus Brighton. For this game I put a 2-0 win to United. I think they've been on some good form recently. They did beat Tottenham, so it's a it's a good 3 points to have in the Premier League, and they are pushing forward to get into that top 4, and hopefully they will get it, because they're looking quite good since Mourinho left, and I just see them pushing far now and getting as much points as they can. So yeah, 2-0 win here. Martial getting the first one, Rashford getting the second goal. Moving on to the next game, Newcastle versus Cardiff. This game is going to be a tough game in my opinion. I think it's going to be a draw, 1-1 here. Perez getting the first goal for Newcastle, and Cardiff, the only goal for Cardiff will be Patterson.
Okay, the next 3 games, Liverpool versus Palace. For this game I put a 2-0 win to Liverpool. Liverpool really good form. They win this game, they could extend their lead at top of the table to 10 points, with City still having a game in hand. But they have got a few injuries coming their way. With Alexander Arnold being out for 4 weeks and stuff, so that could hinder their performance. But I do think they will win this game quite comfortably. Being at home. So yeah, 2-0 win for them, with Salah and Mane getting the goals for Liverpool. And for the next game, Man United versus Brighton. For this game, I put a 3-0 win to United. As Match said, coming off that Spurs win away from home, big confidence booster, crucial 3 points if we want to try and get into the top 4. And now we just have to be consistent with our performances, and being at home, I do think we will beat Brighton quite comfortably. So yeah, 3-0 win for United, with Pogba, Martial and Rashford getting the goals there. And for the next game, Newcastle versus Cardiff. For this game, I put a 1-1 draw. Both teams are struggling, to stay out of the relegation zone. Newcastle 18th, Cardiff just above on 17th. So both teams need to get points on the leaderboard as soon as possible. But I think they'll both settle for a point apiece here, with Rondon getting a goal for Newcastle and Murphy getting a goal for Cardiff.
Right, so for Liverpool versus Crystal Palace, I put a 2-0 win here to Liverpool. It's going to be a tough game, as you guys said, but I think Liverpool have enough quality to beat Crystal Palace, and obviously it is at Anfield, so not many teams will go there and get any points this season. So 2-0 win here, Salah to get both goals and have a good performance. And then for the next game, United versus Brighton, I put a 3-0 win to United, same as Dave. United obviously coming off of that win against Tottenham at Wembley, so that's a big confidence boost, as Dave said. And then coming back home, Brighton shouldn't really get anything from this game. United should have too much for them. So Rashford to get 2 goals, he's been on good form, and Pogba to get 1. And then for Newcastle versus Cardiff, both teams at the bottom of the table, but I'm going to put a 2-0 win here for Newcastle based on the fact they are at home. I think they're going to step up. They do have a few stand-up players such as like Perez, who can produce quality at times. So I think Newcastle are going to come away with the 3 points there. Perez and Richie to get the 2 goals for them.
Okay, first game of the 3, Liverpool versus Crystal Palace. We came back from the 2 defeats with the win last week against Brighton, and I thought for this game it should be a standard routine 3 points for us. I put 2-0 win here with Mane and Salah getting goals for us, and hopefully we can extend the gap between City by 7 points before they play Huddersfield the following day. And moving on to the next game, Man United versus Brighton. United been in great form since Mourinho got sacked, and this is a must-win game for United, in my opinion, if they want to get top 4, because Arsenal and Chelsea are playing this week, and that is points drop for one of the teams, guaranteed. So this game, I put 2-0 win here for United, which will be a massive 3 points for them if they want to go for top 4, obviously, with Pogba and Rashford getting the goals for them. And then moving on to the third game of the 3, Newcastle versus Cardiff. I also went with a 1-1 draw here, with Rondon and Patson getting goals for them, and both teams sharing a point. But let's move on to the next 3 games.
Alright, next 3 games, Southampton versus Everton. For this game, I put a 1-0 win to Everton. I think it's going to be one of those games where there's not many goals again, and Everton will come with the 3 points easily. Southampton not looking the best this season. They're still sitting at the bottom of the league, and they need to step it up, or else relegation could be close. Everton, on the other hand, they're doing decent mid-table, and if they carry on their form, staying top 10 is still good for them. Anyway, moving on to the next game, Watford versus Burnley. For this game, I put another 1-0 win. I think it's going to be a penalty to Watford. Burnley are going to sit back and defend against against Watford's side, and I think Watford are going to struggle to get a goal. But in the end, they will get that goal from a penalty. Deeney getting the only goal, like I said already. Moving on to the next game, the biggest game of week 23, which is Arsenal versus Chelsea. For this game, I put a 2-1 win to Chelsea. Despite Arsenal having a new manager and they've been in pretty decent good form, and Aubameyang smashing goals in, I still think Chelsea tactically will outplay them and nick the 3 points here in the end. I put a 2-1 win, like I said already. Morata getting the first one for Chelsea, second goal getting by Hazard, and the man himself, Aubameyang, for Arsenal. I think it's going to be a tough game in the end, but I still think, if it's not a draw, I think Chelsea will nick the 3 points here in the end, in the 85th, 86th minute.
Okay, for Southampton versus Everton, for this game I put a 1-0 win to Everton. Southampton, they did have a rough start to the Premier League, but since their new managers come in, they have improved in form, slowly climbed up in the table. But as Matt said, if they want to stay safe, they need to get some more points on the leaderboard. And Everton, 10th in the league, decent form right now, and I do think that with the players they have, they will go to Southampton and get the 3 points. So yeah, 1-0 win for Everton, with Sigurdsson being the only goal scorer. For the next game, Watford versus Burnley. For this game, I put 2-0 win to Watford. Watford, really good side. Burnley have picked up form recently, 3 wins on the trot, but I do think the form that Watford are in right now, and the quality players they have, and being at home, you know, I do think they will beat Burnley quite comfortably and maintain that 7th spot in the Premier League, which is really, really good for them. So yeah, 2-0 win for Watford with Deeney and Pereira getting the goals for them. And for the big London derby, Arsenal versus Chelsea, for this game I put a 2-2 draw. You know, this game could go either way. Arsenal play really good at Emirates, and Chelsea, you know, you can never rule them out with the players they have, the likes of Hazard. I was going to say William, but, you know, he's alright, but it's pretty much Hazard, to be honest. But yeah, I do think it will end a draw here, which is a great result for us United fans out there, because, you know, we want to catch up to them. But yeah, 2-2 draw with Aubameyang and Lacazette getting the goals for Arsenal, and Hazard and William getting the 2 goals for Chelsea.
Right, so for Everton versus Southampton, I'll put 3-1 win here for Everton. I think Everton walk away the 3 points. Southampton won their last game out, but they still are fighting deeply in the relegation zone. Everton mid-table, as these guys said, so I think they'll have enough quality here to get the 3 points. Walcott, Sigurdsson, Richarlison to get the 3 goals for them, and Shea Long to get only goal for Southampton. Then for Watford versus Burnley, I'll put 2-0 win here for Watford. I think Watford at home will be too much for Burnley. Obviously, Burnley coming in on a 3-win streak. So Sean Dyche has addressed the problems and they are picking up form, but I think Watford will have too much for them. And so Deeney and Pereira to get 2 goals for Watford. And then for the big game, Arsenal versus Chelsea, obviously, I know I doubt anyone here is going to put us to win, but I have to put us to win only because it's at Emirates. If it's at Stamford Bridge, I would say 4-0, 4-1 to Chelsea, I'm not going to lie, but at Emirates, I've got faith, so I'll put 2-1 win here. I personally think Ozil's going to play this game for some reason. Something's telling me, because I don't know what's happened to him. He's been missing. So if someone spots Ozil, please message us or something. But he's been missing, and I think he's going to come in this game. I think he's going to have one of them performances where it may signal his return, as in the effort he puts in. Hopefully. So I think Ozil's going to get a goal here, with Aubameyang get another goal, and obviously Hazard to get the only goal for Chelsea. But yeah, it's going to be a tough game, but it is important because I was doing all the jokes about United, but if we lose this game or draw United a win, they're going to be above us, which is a bit crazy. But yeah, so 2-1 win to Arsenal.
Okay, the first game of the 3, Southampton versus Everton. I actually went with a 1-word draw here. Since Hassan Hattwood came in for Southampton, they've been good at relegation zone, but they're only 1 point away from 18th spot, which isn't good. But on the other hand, Everton won their last game, but I have a feeling it's going to be a draw this game with Richarlison and Shane Long getting the goals for this game. And then moving on to the next game, which is Watford versus Burnley. Watford 7th in the league so far, whereas Burnley on a 3-win streak but are still 15th, which is a long spot from where they finished last season. And for this game, I put a 2-1 win here for Watford. That is with Pereira and Decore getting the goals for Watford, and Burnley goal scorer being Bolks. And then moving on to the big Arsenal versus Chelsea, I put a 1-1 draw. This game can go either way, but it could be a draw, could be a win for Arsenal, could be a loss for Arsenal, but I went with a draw with Hazard and Lacazette getting the goals for this game. In my eyes, if Arsenal don't get the 3 points here, their top 4, I don't want to say the top 4 is 100% over, but it's over in my opinion. But for this game, yeah, 1-1 draw, and let's move on to the last 2 games.
Alright, last 2 games on Sunday. Huddersfield versus City. For this game, I put a 3-0 win to City, routine 3-0 win. There's something to say about this game. Huddersfield's last, City's fighting for first. 3 points, that's all you're looking for. So yeah, City getting for the 3 points here. Aguero getting the first one, Gabriel getting the 2 other goals. Moving on to the next game, Fulham versus Tottenham. For this game, I put a 2-0 into Tottenham. Before obviously the video, we spoke about injuries and stuff. So Harry Kane is injured, as you guys know. So it might be a tough game for Tottenham, because they don't have the main striker, but I still think, Son will slide in and they could go here with Dele Alli an assist and also a goal from Dele Alli. So 2 goals for Tottenham, 1 for Dele and 1 for Son.
Okay, so the last 2 games of week 23, starting off with Huddersfield versus Manchester City. As Madge said, routine win for City. I put a 4-1 win here. City coming off that great win against Wolves to close the gap on Liverpool to just 4 points. They're gonna wanna keep winning games and try to catch up to Liverpool, and I think this game here will be an easy win for them. No disrespect to Huddersfield, but yeah, City are just too good. So yeah, 4-1 win to City with Departure getting a goal for Huddersfield, and then Jesus getting 2, Sterling getting the 3rd, and Son getting the 4th to round off the goals for Man City. And for the last game, Fulham versus Spurs. For this game, I put a 2-0 win to Spurs. I think Spurs will be bouncing back from that loss against United. Kane is out until like early March, I heard, so that's a big blow for them. But they've got enough players to cover for him. Maybe they might sign someone in January, I don't know. But yeah, I put 2-0 win for Spurs with Son and Lamela getting the goals there.
Right, so for the last 2 games, Huddersfield versus City, 3-1 win here for City. Not much to say. Basically, the same as what you guys said. And obviously, City was way too much firepower for Huddersfield. So Sane to get 2, Jesus to get 1, and Moy to get the only goal for Huddersfield. For the last game, Fulham versus Tottenham. I'm going to put 2-0 win for Spurs. Obviously, as these guys said, Kane is injured, but at the same time, I think Spurs obviously have quality players. It may affect them a bit because he is a big player for them, but Son will do the job in my opinion. So Son to get 1, Eriksen to get 1, and a comfortable 2-0 win for Tottenham.
Okay, the first game of the last 2, Huddersfield versus Man City. I went with a 2-0 win here for City, but Huddersfield, David Wagner left by mutual consent, and now their head coach is going to take the next game. And you know, teams in the Premier League, when their managers get sacked and the caretaker manager comes in, they turn up. So if Huddersfield turn up somehow and get a result here, I'll be more than happy, obviously being a Liverpool fan. But for this game, I'll put 2-0 win here for City, with Jesus and Sterling getting the goals for them. But hopefully Huddersfield can just turn around with the new caretaker manager, hopefully get a draw or something. But yeah, and then move on to the next game, Fulham versus Tottenham. In spite of Harry Kane being injured and being out until early March, for this game, it's gonna be a tough game for Tottenham, but I'm expecting 3 points for them, with a 2-1 win here, with Mitrovic getting the goal for Fulham, and Tottenham's goal scorer being Son and Eric Lamela. And yeah, that's been week 23 predictions.
Alright guys, hope you guys all enjoyed the video. If you haven't already guys, make sure you guys comment down below your score predictions for this week's games. You know, the biggest game, Arsenal versus Chelsea. Who do you think will win? Who do you think will lose? And make sure you guys comment down below who you think will score the goals. If you haven't already guys, subscribe and let's try smash 200 likes. That'd be much appreciated. Follow us on all our social medias, Twitter, Instagram and Snapchat. It's at 4Bro Show. And yeah guys, it's been a 4Bro Show and see you soon. Peace.